Hi everyone, it's Mrs. Gershon here. I'm going to go ahead and go through our words this week. I do have our headers included at the top this week, so we're going to be looking at that. All of our words are still following the pattern where R is controlling the vowel. Now this week our vowel happens to be I. So as we go through, you're going to hear a couple of different sounds with the I and the R put together. All right, so let's start in our first column. We have the word girl, and we're going to work our way down. Third, tire, fur, pliers, chirp, there, dirt. Back up to the second row, we have fire, bird, flyer, whirl, swirl, crier, twirl, fur. And then our last column, we have dryer, birth, shirt, hire, thirst, skirt, wire, and first. Now I just want to go with you, over with you a few of the words that might give us a little bit trouble. We have two homophones this week. In our first column, we have the word fir. This is actually a type of a tree, so I'm just going to write tree here. And then we have fur down in the second column all the way at the bottom, which is obviously the hair on an animal. I'm also looking at the word hire over here. This is not a homophone. We don't have a homophone on this list, I guess I should say, but this hire right here in the third column, that means to appoint somebody a job or give them a job. You're hiring them for a job. Now let's look at our pattern for this week. So I'm looking up at the top at my headers. The first header we have is IR. That's actually going to make the sound this week, and I'm going to write that over here. It almost sounds like it's spelled UR, but it's spelled IR. Let's look at our headers, our bold words. The only one that has the IR this week is girl. So when you say girl, you hear girl. Now let's go down through our list and see if we can find some. Third, IR, you still hear the Then I see fur, IR, chirp, IR, and dirt, all hearing the IR sound. Now in the second column, let's go ahead and go through. I have bird, IR, whirl and swirl, and twirl. I'm not going to go through the third column. I want to see if you can find the IR words that make the sound this week. Now let's look at our second header, IRE. That's actually going to say ire. So right here in the word directly underneath it, you have the IRE, fire. I'm going to stay in the second column and see if we can find some more with IRE. I don't see any here in the second column, so let's go back to the first column. I see tire. I see, that's it in the second column. That might be a short list this week. I'm not going to check the third column with you. I want you to read the words in the third column and see if you can find any words that have the ire sound spelled IRE. And oddly enough, our last header, IER, makes the same sound as IRE. So we're again going to say ire. So let's take a look in let's look at our headers, our bold words. You have dryer, D-R-I-E-R, dryer, making something more dry, or your dryer that you put clothes into. Let's stay in this first column. I'm not seeing any more with the I-E-R. Now I'm looking here in the second column. Oh, I have flyer. And you know what? And crier. Something that I just noticed in common with all of these words that have the IER added to the ends. If you look at this base word right here, dry isn't spelled D-R-I, it's spelled D-R-Y. Now if I want to add the ER onto it, they cross off the Y and add I-E-R. Same as is in the word flyer. Fly, the base word is spelled F-L-Y, but they're crossing that off and they're adding ER, so you have to drop it and add I-E-R. Same with crier, C-R-Y. If somebody is a crier, meaning they cry a lot, you're crossing off the Y, you're adding I-E-R. So it looks like any word that has the I-E-R, originally the base word had a Y in it and they're crossing it off and adding the ER to the end. Now I'm going to switch over to blue here, and I'm looking for any oddballs. Now I see one right away. I see in our first column the word there. Now there, you see the IR right here at the ends, but you're not hearing the sound like in the rest of the IR words that we have this week. You're actually hearing air, as in there. Now we had already seen that word, I believe, prior in another list. So this isn't going to say it's going to say air with the E in front. And this is there, as in a person owning something, like their books or their shoes. I'm also looking at the word fur. Now you hear the sound like with IR, but it's not spelled IR, it's actually spelled UR. And we'll see if you can come up with any other oddballs. There may be some or there may not be. So you have to go through and do your list. As you're laying down your words, I want you to say them. And I want you to decide, are you saying IR, or IR, with a word that normally has a Y, but you're dropping the Y and adding IER. If you have any questions about any of the words because you're not sure what they mean or how to pronounce them, please raise your hand. I will come around and help you. And it's time to start cutting out your words and sorting. So happy sorting.